Yeah, buddy.
35, man. Episode 35 already.
Yes, sir.
Shit's
Yes,
moving quick, man.
sir.
Moving quick. Welcome to the Freedom Cage Podcast, where we lock into a free state of mind each and every pay week on all DSPs, of course. But I got my main guy, my ace, my left and my right this week, Shawn, better known as Mr. Seniorly on all your socials.
You know.
And me, I'm Kenny, man. Also known as Ken Kapnick on all our socials. But it's the middle of the month. It's tax season. Shit is delayed. But other than that, man, how you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. The great thing about this month, of course, is Black History Month, right?
Of course.
Just being a part of all the events, getting to see all the different people that are being highlighted for what they did in history.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful to be a part of, man.
Yeah, man, Black History Month, it's special. Not only because we're black, but it's also a very good reminder for you to let your kids know about special people in the past, that there's just, not that there's no reason to bring them up just on your daily, walk of life through the house, but it's a good time of the year to highlight those that are special. The Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's. Young kids, they didn't live the time, so barely did we. So we got to let them know every so often to do so.
Absolutely.
But in today's time of Black History Month, the kids see what's on the news. They see what's on Sports Center. They see what's going on.
Right.
Only Black history they know is James Harden being a net. So it's like, that nigga wildin', bro.
Yo, listen. What was it? I think there was a stat. They only played like 13 to 16 games together.
The big
yeah,
three,
16 games together, and they
three.
went like 13-3.
They would, hey, if the pandemic never came, if KD didn't get hurt, they might be like 3 or 4th in the East. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would have they might have a good thing going, but
Yep.
James Harden started to look around. He started to read the room. He was like, yo, I came here.
Yeah.
It was big goals and dreams, and everybody was on board. But then I look on the bench, it's just me and these other niggas. And I ain't really talked to these other niggas before I signed up. You know what I'm saying? The niggas I signed up with is not here. Like, you know what I mean? KD getting treatment. We got a home game, so Kyrie ain't here. You know what I mean? But this trade, though, between the Nets and the Sixers, good or bad for Harden, first off. Let's start with Harden. Is it even a good fit for him to be there?
It's a great trade for Harden. The person I'm worried about is Embiid.
How so?
Because Embiid has been so used to being the focal point of the offense. James Harden needs the ball to be effective. He's not going to run screens or, do off-ball stuff. He needs the ball. He needs a couple of dribbles, maybe 8 or 9 dribbles, to really set himself to get into a flow. Now, the question is Joel Embiid ready to say, you know what? You do you, James. I'm here when you need me.
Nah, because honestly, Embiid's been playing lights out for the last 45 calendar days.
He's having an MVP season, yes.
Averaging plus 35, rebounds is up, everything's up.
Yeah.
Even the wins. And when the wins correlate with the stats,
that's right.
There's no point in fucking up the formula. James coming on board, if he gets a little ball hungry, I really hope there's someone else other than Embiid to pull him to the side and go, yo, bro, we got a good thing going here. You are here to assist in the event if we need anything. Yes, you're a big-time player. We gave a whole fucking lot up for you.
Yes.
But please understand, we run this game through Embiid, and in the event he's tripled. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to do what we got to do as a team.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if James Harden has ever played on a team like that. That's why I'm worried for Joel. For James, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? But for Joel, it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works. But the main piece of this was shout out to the Nets on this trade. Like, this was
monumental.
Let's forget Ben Simmons for a second, right? We know what he brings to the table. We know where his shortcomings are. Mm-hmm. Seth Curry is having a tremendous year shooting.
That was a diamond in the rough in that trade.
Yeah, he's coming off of a tremendous year of shooting, right? Andre Drummond gives you more height, more rebounding. They were thin in the middle. Mm-hmm. So now you got some power. 2 first-round picks.
That's nuts. The picks was like, don't get me wrong. When I seen Seth added to, I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I seen the first round picks. I'm like, I was confused.
Yeah.
At this point. Like I didn't. It's almost like they blackmailed them into some shit. Like it was like, hey, we got some info on James that we'll hold to ourselves.
Yeah.
But if you give us these first round picks, we'll just keep this. Whatever he did with whatever strippers in the New York area, we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how they pulled this off. But I commend them.
And Seth Curry helps with the Kyrie Irving problem.
Very much so.
Because now you got someone who could legitimately play every game.
Yes.
While Kyrie's out. I mean, KD is coming back into a sweet situation. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, he's going to have a sit down with Ben. Be like, yo, bro, like, talk to me, man. Like, where are you at right now? How are you feeling mentally? Because if you're not ready for this season, then do what you got to do and come back fresh next season.
I think mentally, I think Ben is ready to get back on the court. Physically, I'm not too sure because, a game time speed and practice always are a little different, you know what I mean? But I just hope Ben falls into the role that he was at that 1 year in college before he went into the league. At some point, I don't know when it transitioned, but he went from being the power forward as far as getting rebounds, being able to dribble the ball, in the paint, scoring. At some point, people's like, oh no, fourth quarter, 3 seconds left, give it to Ben. They're like, that's not his job. It's never been his job.
Yeah.
And as soon as Philly tried to make him that guy and everyone kind of focused on, yo, why you didn't hit that 3 when we need it? He's like, fam, did you see my college career? I don't really do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of I'm a very agile power guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't be, don't depend. I'm super happy being the third option. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if he could get back into that, just do everything else other than score the game, he'll be fine. But I don't know. We'll see though. He has to immensely be ready though, like you said. I'm not sure if he's there.
Yeah. Shout out to the Nets, man. They won this trade, man. Bravo, Brooklyn.
Big time. But yeah, we'll see. And they got Paul Millsap. Yeah, they got
I'm not even counting that, man.
Oh, come on, man.
He's not good anymore. He's not. I'm just keeping it real.
Damn, Paul. They had something there. Yeah. What else I have in the NBA? Did you happen to see the All-Star picks between James?
Yes, I did. KD? Pure comedy, man.
Now,
pure comedy.
Was KD being spicy?
Of course. You know KD, man. KD is Twitter fingers. KD don't care, man. Like you gotta understand, and I totally get where KD's coming from. Like, bro, where's the fucking loyalty? We just got together.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we got half of Kyrie. Okay, yes, I'm hurt. But all last season, you came in out of shape.
Yes.
And we wasn't like trade his ass. You know what I mean? But here you are. I went out. And granted, we'll never know the full story. But at the end of the day, in that moment, I think he handled it the best way he could.
Like it's really it's just getting real hard for everybody to believe the whole cry wolf thing with James Harden. As far as OKC, KD as Westbrook left. You were there by yourself for a little bit. Didn't work out. Then you went to Houston. You had
he left before Westbrook.
He was the first one?
Yeah, he was the first one to go.
Damn, he had the team. Left the team that could have been, right? Went to Houston, had a couple good pieces there. That didn't work out. You fought, you scratched your way out of there, got to Brooklyn. It was a part of a big three. Unfortunately, pandemic / injuries. You were the only one of the three to show up this season, but him going. How often can he keep doing it? What if it doesn't work in Philly? What if something happens? Is he gonna be allowed to leave again?
I think Philly was always the destination. It's just that Philly and Houston for some reason couldn't make it happen. Right? Like they weren't trying to deal Ben at the time because they thought like something was really gonna happen. Like Ben was gonna get it together or something. But then once he went to Brooklyn and Ben was like, no, you can tax me. I'm not playing. Yeah. Now Philly's like, well, fuck, we got to do something.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
The fact that he could hold out this long, like, cause a game check, like, shit. If I miss a work week check,
right,
I'm hurt. I'm hurting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's out here missing a full on game check, 6-figure checks on 2-3 checks a week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's just like, no,
I don't remember the amount verbatim, but it was significant.
It was hefty. It was hefty, bro.
It was significant.
Just to suit up. Like, even if you came in and stunk it up, you get paid for stinking it up. Like, you just get paid to show up in a uniform.
Yeah.
And you refuse to do that. But I mean, shout to the Sixers, shout to the Nets especially. You guys won in this trade talk. But yeah, man, time will tell. We'll see. But the All-Star game should be funny because I saw Chuck the other day. He had a hell of a lot of jokes. As far as they was like, oh, is James even gonna play? He's hurt. He said, nah, he ain't hurt no more. He said he swapped jerseys. He's just fine. You know
That's right.
But we shall see. We shall see. What's going on in the UFC?
So moving over to the UFC, man. Number one, last show we told you that there was supposedly a rumor about Julianna Peña and Amanda Nunes hosting the next Ultimate Fighter. That is officially confirmed. So now, starting May 3rd, it'll be those two girls. But what I noticed that was pretty interesting, and I hope it's bullshit, but there's reports that Nunes is saying that she had injuries to both knees prior to fighting Julianna. Now, I have a big problem with when fighters talk about injuries after they lose.
Like, if I was a competitor on that level, as far as a 1 versus 1, if I took an L and I knew I was hurt prior to going in, you gotta eat that. If you win though, be like, yo, my whole kneecap was broken. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You could brag on that. That helps your brand, so to speak. You know what I mean? Shows your toughness. But it feels like it's an excuse for losing.
Yeah.
So it's weird now. You know what I mean? You can't do that.
Like, for me personally, fighters should be treated like, other sports players. There should be an injury report. Mm-hmm. I'm coming in with sore knees.
Unfortunately for fighting, it's a little different.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
I'm gonna attack these kneecaps.
I hear you. You know what I mean? I get it. There's insurance implications and probably other financial obligations that prohibit that type of information being shared, of course, along with betting. But, when you hear it after the fact, shit, it's like nobody gives a shit, man. Like,
it's too late. You
lost.
You had the opportunity. You lost. Like, you shouldn't.
What you telling us now for?
If you had bad knees, you should have said you had bad knees and pulled out. You know what I mean? But hey, people show up for the payday, win or lose, unfortunately, and she probably felt, hey, if I say I lost, maybe they'll give me another shot at the rematch. You know
I mean, she already had it in the clause in the contract, right. So I really didn't understand the need for this.
Definitely keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. Also in the UFC though, Joe Rogan this past week, and if you notice, he was missing from this weekend's events, and I don't know if it's ironic timing with the whole N-word fiasco, as far as a lot of old shows and clips of him using the N-word casually. A couple ER endings on a couple of statements. He tried to rephrase it as if it was, it's all about the context in which the words were said, but I'm a little confused because a lot of black celebrities who happen to know him, I guess more on a friend level, are kind of coming to bat for him as far as no, he's really a good guy. You know what I mean? But at what point do you separate someone being a good guy versus someone playing a part? You know what I mean? Like, because you never know who someone is behind closed doors. Like, if we're all in a party, the drinks are flowing, all's well, no N-words are said, he's a great guy. But when he's on a show, he's in a comfortable environment. Yeah. He's okay letting that N-word fly.
Right.
Even as a celebrity friend of his, I don't know how you can condone something that someone just shouldn't be doing, regardless of context. How does he move forward? He can't get canceled because he just makes too much money from Spotify and UFC hostings to get canceled. But is there another phase? Does it just fade away after a few weeks?
I think at the most part, nobody's gonna miss him on the side at a UFC event. I know I personally, as a UFC fan, won't miss him. In regards to how these black people are coming forward to bat for him, I mean, at this point, man, it just hurts you because you're like, it was unnecessary.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, he's really a good guy. Why is that always the go-to when somebody makes a mistake?
So he has black friends. That's not an excuse for your actions.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why they feel like, let me come forward and help my guy. In my eyes, they missing the message. They are totally missing the message. If it's not that big a deal, then it will fade away. Joe will apologize and everything will get back to normal. But the fact that you got to come in and try and affirm that, Joe's a really good guy, I need to see that from my perspective. If I don't see it, then your opinion doesn't mean shit to me.
Honestly. But yeah, like, he had the whole soliloquy as far as I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram. He put his little 4 to 5 minute spiel out on a lot of things taken out of context. I apologize if I offended anyone, but not that it was all said in good faith, so to speak. I'm doing air quotes, but he just felt I felt like he was talking as if like someone gave him a black pass at some point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you may have interviewed a lot of high-profile black celebrities, but I don't know if anyone on the black side of the card can say, hey, man, you can say the N-word whenever you want to, and it's cool with me. I don't know about the rest of the world, but with me, you fine. Him making that public made it all out of whack.
Well, that's the biggest problem with the N-word. We can't do that to anybody.
You can't give someone that power.
We can't use any of the derogatory terms made up for any other minority. But every other minority feels like they can do that with us.
Correct.
And I remember vividly in high school, one of my black friends checking a Latin kid that every other word, Kenny, was N-word, N-word, N-word. And he came over to him, and there's a particular word for Hispanics that's very offensive. And he said, if I said that to you and I kept using that over and over, how would you feel? And I swear this kid never said the N-word again because it wasn't out of any malicious intent. Like he was going to beat his ass because he could have. But he was just like, yo, you can use something else.
Yeah.
So that's why when you see celebrities with this kind of power and they got this kind of platform, like, look at us. We would love to have that kind of contract with Spotify.
You know what I mean?
And that's what you go to? I mean, come on, man.
Like he was just that comfortable.
Exactly.
And that's what made me uncomfortable.
Exactly. And that's the problem. People get too comfortable.
It just rolled off. Like, and it wasn't not that it's a cool way to say the N-word, but he wasn't saying it the cool way as a rapper would in a verse, or you would with a close friend from way back. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one of those exchanges. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
I'm not a fan of cancel culture. I'd rather course correct people. Sometimes you're going down a course, to your point, where you're too comfortable and you're not aware of what you're saying and how it's affecting people.
Very true. But that whole black versus white thing is big, man. It doesn't just affect podcast shows and UFC items, but it's also a big factor in the NFL.
Yes, it is.
Our guy Brian Flores, a couple weeks back, got fired for being a pretty decent coach with a pretty mediocre team.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, like, they had a couple of good draft picks last year. They got to it, had a couple things going for them, but it didn't work out. But they were able to still finish the season pretty strong, and they still let him go.
Yeah.
But in a lengthy lawsuit, Brian Flores filed class action, of course, against the NFL and 3 separate teams, that being the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Giants. But long story short, he was stating they engage in racist and discriminatory practices against not only him but other black coaches as well. And a big thing that kind of, I guess, tipped the hat was a text he received from Brian Belichick as a congratulations, but unfortunately it was a separate Brian that got the job. So it was weird. It sucked that Belichick had to be in the middle of that right off of a playoff loss. But I know he was just looking at his phone. He was probably ready to throw that shit across the fucking room when he fucked up. Man. But this lawsuit now coming from Brian, it set off a chain effect. One where Roger Goodell had to go on not on a press run or some sort of let's fix this issue quick as hell tour, but he sent a memo out to all clubs stating, yo, I do admit we do have some diversity issues, you know what I'm saying? But, what we have so far has just been unacceptable, and we got to do better by that. It sounds good in theory, but if you don't have, to have a plan is great, but you don't have any, any movement or action on how that plan is going to get executed, it's just words. Yeah. And all these old white owners, technically, I'm not even sure if they even read the memo. You know what I'm saying? Because they're stuck in their ways. They're going to hire who they want to hire. They're going to be who they're comfortable with. And going forward, there's been a couple of POC hires in the last few weeks that I don't know if the NFL is trying to make up for something, but even with those hires, I still see, the internets and everyone talking like, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. Is there a threshold? Like there's 30 plus teams in the NFL. I think we have like 5 or 6 coaches now. Mm-hmm. It's not enough. Granted. Is there a number that would make people happy?
I don't think it's about the number. I think it's about the structure in place. So here's the thing. If the entire hiring process was broken, then you would hear white coaches complaining too.
True.
You know what I mean? And that's what gives Brian Flores' claim validity. You would hear a bunch of coaches in the NFL saying, I've been in here for years. I've been putting in work. Why didn't I get a shot yet? Mm-hmm. But you always hear the minority coaches having to fight for a chance.
Yeah.
So when I hear Roger Goodell say, what more can we do? He doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
And that means he probably doesn't have the right people in place to help it happen.
I don't think the NFL has a diversity team on that level as far as the hiring process. Because honestly, each individual ball club are their own entity.
NBA does.
This is true.
NBA does.
This is true.
And this is why Adam Silver is kicking his ass every year. Like it is no competition. And I don't think at this point, to be honest, Roger Goodell cares.
Roger Goodell can't give a pound. and that's part of the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see, it's funny when you see Adam Silver, like, when there's even with the championship talk.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he kind of turns it on and off like Obama did.
Yeah, that's it.
When it's a cool player that he sees, he'll dap him up like a regular friend of his, and it's like one of the older coaches. He'll firm handshake, like we're not that cool of a party. But the fact that he can switch it on and off and he knows the difference, that's a big benefit. You know what I mean? And it helps him in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was looking at the NFL honors last week, and he was standing next to Calais Campbell, and he looked like he was intimidated. And the funny thing is, right, if you get a chance to look at it on YouTube, Calais Campbell thanks everybody on the stage, and then he says, the guy to my left. Roger Goodell is the guy to his left. That was the most... I was so proud that he did that, and he had a chance to do that in Black History Month.
Felt good.
That shit felt good.
Felt good.
And you saw Roger Goodell's face like,
you know the fuck I am? I'm the commish, motherfucker.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he knows. Like, he knows. You know what I mean? His hands are tied. These owners are not biting.
No.
They're setting their ways, to your point. And the only light, hopefully at the end of the tunnel, which is the next thing we're going to get into, is media mogul Byron Allen is preparing to make a bid for the Denver Broncos.
Very true.
Right? So it seems like back in November of 2019, Roger Kraft and Roger Goodell came to him and said, yo, I think, it's time that we have somebody make a real push, to finally have a black owner. And it looks like Byron finally feels like now is the time. So he's got some heavy competition out there, but I'm hoping that this can happen.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Because I remember, might have been late last summer, I heard a fake rumor with Jay-Z looking to try to inquire an NFL team as well, and Denver got thrown out there, but at the time, it didn't sound like Denver was even for sale. So he might have had like a little bit of inside knowledge, knowing like who was coming, who was going. But if we already got somebody in the runnings and he's high up on the list, I hope Jay just kind of falls back and sticks to everything else he does. He has other things to worry about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I hope it works out for him. I truly, truly do.
Yeah, definitely, man. But this is a tough topic because it's one of our favorite sports here in America, and we look at the field. The field is diverse as fuck.
Yeah.
They got helmets on, but you see the names on the back. You got Hawaiian, you got Native American, you got African American, you got Hispanic, you got white. You know what I mean? You got all over the place. Now you got LGBTQ plus. Like, the diversity is on the field. It's just not in the leadership positions.
Keeping it football on a quick Jace. The Washington Commanders?
Oh, my God.
How bad is that?
You know what's funny? I had it as a topic, and then I took that shit off. I was like, you know what? This isn't even worth my podcast minutes.
I was like, This is the best shit. They had a year and a half. This is the best option.
The Commanders. Oh my God.
They better command a W this year, but they got Ron Rivera though, so they should have a decent squad. He's a really good coach, but it's a terrible name they chose.
Yeah, man.
Terrible. Mm-hmm. And another recent hire as well. The Texans, they were able to acquire Lovie Smith, so that's another POC coach. We'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It won't be changed until, unfortunately, all the owners die off. So another 20 to 30 years when all the olders are way too old to no longer hold their position and new people come into the rings. That's the only way it's going to come to play.
I believe there needs to be a rotation of leadership for that to change.
Define rotation in this sense.
So it's probably unrealistic, but if you think about it, right, if you rotated the people who lead the diversity efforts, you change the narrative every time. You keep new ideas, new focus coming in so that nobody's agenda becomes bigger than the cause. Mm-hmm. And right now we have owners who are handing down the franchise to their kids, and their kids are not aware. Mm-hmm. They're not raised in that, diversity awareness. Mm-hmm. So they come in and they're just like, all right, we're just going to do the same thing mom and dad did, or dad did, or mom did. And they just keep going. And they're like, well, why don't you hire a black diversity, executive for your franchise? What is that?
Yeah, what's that going to do?
You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? We're winning.
Mm-hmm. Question sidebar. If Roger Goodell left and a black commissioner came into play, are we still okay with 5 to 10 black coaches with a black commissioner? Is that, and it eases it a bit, but does that make it better?
So I don't want people to get hung up on is a benchmark, mm-hmm. right? Because we don't have a benchmark for white leaders, right? We just have leaders.
Correct.
It's just they just mostly happen to be white. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is, in the process of hiring, why is it that we always keep seeing the same faces when the criteria matches? Correct. Like, they went down to the T, and the fact that we got to go down to the T to prove that this is what's happening just reaffirms that it's a problem.
That it is. I agree. Totally agree. And other weird news, though. Mm-hmm. Antonio Brown a few weeks ago as well. Last time you seen him in a football uniform, he was leaving the Jet Stadium with half of his uniform.
Yeah, that's right.
But since then, it seems as if he has joined on to sign with Donda Sports, which I didn't even know they had a Donda Sports division.
Me neither.
But the purpose of Donda Sports, it was founded with the purpose or the vision of providing holistic support to athletes during and beyond their sports career. I get it, but I don't know if you should have Antonio Brown as your poster boy for starting this
I agree.
This CTC maybe clause going forward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get it if you're truly trying to help those NFL players that are in need, just due to a mental block that they are having beyond the years of football. But Antonio Brown doing it and then going on interviews after the meltdown is, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with him. I know something's off since that hit, but I don't know how much of him is still in there.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be on podcasts. I think he needs to find his cause and then just go forward with it. If it's about anything improving the relationship for players in sports, mm-hmm. then just do it. You don't need to go on podcasts and talk about it. Do it and then show the results. Show the players that you've gotten to join Donda and you've improved their contracts or you improved their mental health. Show that. All this other stuff that he's doing is just a bunch of noise. It's not doing anything.
He's a celebrity with a platform. He doesn't need all the extra antics to prove something. Like,
absolutely.
You can just talk and people will listen because you are who you are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something else that pissed me off. I turned on a Pro Bowl the other week.
They still got that?
Let me tell you how angry I was. Because one, I was just scrolling through the television. It was a Sunday. I was like, oh wow, a football game is on. I click on it and oh, it's Pro Bowl. It's cool. I haven't seen one of these in a while. I seen the pass. I got there in the middle of a play. He throws the ball, receiver catches it. Two guys kind of like hug him, and then I see the whistle blow. I'm like, well, that's weird. They didn't take him to the ground. I'm like, was a flag on the play? It's like offsides or something I missed. You know what I mean? They get back to the ball, get on to the next play. And it was a running play. Gave it to the running back. He runs up the middle, shakes a guy, gets another couple yards, and it's another like a group hug. Another whistle blow. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this like professional two-hand touch? These millionaires in helmets and shit were coming from all their different teams and divisions came together in this awesome place. All this money on the field to play two-hand touch. I changed that channel so fast. I was so angry.
I would be too.
I get it. Like, hey, I'm rich. I don't want to get hurt. I'm just here for, because I got voted to be here. But play the game to the fullest at a bare min. I'm not telling you to, to run a 4 flat. But at least let tackles be tackles anymore. It was sad to see. I was very upset with the NFL. Yeah. But going at this rate, I truly see the Pro Bowl just slowly fading away. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but
it's tough. It would be like having an all-star weekend for boxing. Like granted, you could do like speed bag contests or maybe like punching power, but you can't really have like a sparring match without some sort of contact.
That's
yeah, it's nuts.
It's like UFC with gloves. It was weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just I can't get around it. I can't not get around it.
So we're going to jump out of sports, people, man, and we're going to head over to the favorite part of our show, man, the questions segment. And we're going to start it off still with football. You know what I mean? It's a perfect segue. Michael Irvin, one of the most charismatic, probably the loudest. I swear when him and Stephen A. Smith are on TV, it's like Meek Mill and Boozy Badass on a track. It is the loudest airing show alive, very right? True. But Michael Irvin was on the show and he stated that Joe Burrow winning a Super Bowl for Cincinnati would be bigger than LeBron winning a chip for Cleveland. What do you think, bro?
That's a wild statement to make. Solely because LeBron had more vested in Cleveland. He grew up in a town. He's probably seen a robbery or two. It was rough. I mean, he wasn't in the greatest spots. But to be there, blood, sweat, and tears, leave for a little bit, come back, able to claim that throne as the king in your hometown. Big step for him in that town. But Joe Burrow in his technically his second year, since the second one was really injury prone. And win for Cincinnati. Granted, they never won one before. It's not the same level. It's not the same caliber.
Yeah.
Not the blood, sweat, and tears just really isn't there yet. You know what I mean? He didn't put in that.
Right.
Not that we wasn't winning in the gym, but you didn't have enough gym sessions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To get to that point. So, as much as I love Michael Irvin and his antics and his outtakes, this one is a big false. I don't think anybody.
And the only thing to add to that, man, come on, 3-1.
True.
Finals. Like I don't like
LeBron's winning Cleveland. I hate that might have been one of don't get me wrong. MJ has 6. He's undefeated. He's every time he's touched that mountaintop, he's touched gold. I get it. But I was ready to put LeBron on that same Rushmore with Jordan when he won that one specifically.
Yeah, man.
It was for the hometown. 2, you was down 3-1. 3 years going against, statistically, the best NBA team to ever get to this point.
Yep. 73-9.
73-9.
Yep.
So, I don't know, but
and Game 7 was in Golden State.
It was a lot.
Listen.
That was top-notch pressure cooker shit.
Yeah. The only thing that could bring Joe Burrow close to that would have been if he was drafted to the Saints and then won a chip both times in Louisiana at the college level and at the NFL level.
That'd have been dope.
That would have been very close. Not better, but close.
But up there.
Hell yeah.
It could have sniffed the area. But,
yeah, he could officially say, I own, like, I'm the man in Louisiana. I brought y'all chips at 2 different levels.
Yeah, but Cincinnati doing it, no. I don't see it. Not so much.
Yep.
Not so much. A little nervous. You got a relationship experiment that we kind of want you guys to do with your partners. We know Valentine's was yesterday, so try this out, gentlemen as well as ladies. Tell your partner the whole truth and nothing but the truth for a straight week. Now, don't get crazy. We don't want you getting put out your homes, but
hey, come on. The whole truth is the whole. So listen, you don't have to do it, right? This is the fun thing about it. If you do it, it will be interesting to see how tough your relationship really is. Because fellas and ladies, we know sometimes our partners be like, you can talk to me. You can tell me what you're thinking. You can tell me what's going on. I will understand. Open up to me. This is that test. For a week, she hands you that food, that dinner, and you like, nah, this is trash. You need to use more seasoning. No, I don't need this in Tupperware. I'm not taking it to work the next day. She's like, yo, get off me. This position sucks. It sucks for the last 3 years. Get off me, bro.
Damn,
like that type of truth. Yo.
That sounds like lawyers is getting involved. I don't know. Listen, tread lightly. Like if you are in a relationship where you were friends first and is built into where you are today, this might be a cool exercise for you. You know what I'm saying? You might have cracked on each other prior to getting involved for real. So,
okay.
So you might have a little bit of history there. But if you was one of those, he courted you fairly from the streets. He took you off from wherever you
Got
were.
met on Tinder.
You know what I mean? And you guys just had a blossoming relationship from here on out. Don't fuck this up. Don't listen to us, man. But for everybody else, try it out. If you can't do a week, do 3 days.
yeah, baby steps, baby steps.
What happens.
I mean, I always shoot for the stars, but
let's see what happens.
Yeah, let us know how it went, or you can tell us y'all niggas crazy.
Yeah, I'm never doing that. You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Y'all crazy. Y'all done.
But the goal this week is to tell your partner the whole truth and nothing but the truth for a week straight. No matter how small, no matter how big, let them know. Good luck. And I hope you know how to sleep with one eye open in the event shit goes south. But I got a separate question for you. Rap related. The Migos. Versace. Remember the niggas. Who is the best rapper in the group?
Offset.
That's what I thought. Twitter thought it was Takeoff. Like, it's funny because when I seen it, I was trying to remember a powerful Takeoff bar, and I couldn't recall one at the time of when it happened.
No.
So if anyone is listening and Takeoff does have that verse that you gotta hear this one, can you forward that to us?
Yes.
In some way, take or form, because I don't believe that Takeoff is the best per the consensus.
Yeah.
I think Offset, not that I can recite any of his verses, but the songs that I do recall from him happen to be better than the other two. So it was weird to see. I just couldn't believe that Takeoff would have won this little battle, but it seems he outshined, and everybody was happy about it.
All right.
What's this? More unfortunate news that happened earlier this month out of Minneapolis. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, man. So on a somber note, going over into the social justice section, man, there was the unfortunate murder of AMIR LOCKE on February 2nd. This was due to a no-knock entry by Minneapolis police. A lot of this may trigger you back to 2020 with Breonna Taylor. So now, if you've seen the video, you see they open the door, they come in, they're screaming, they got their guns out, and you see AMIR pop off the couch. He's got a comforter over him, and then new still video shots are showing you that there was a gun on the table, and I guess he went for it, and that's when they shot him. So now, this is tough because it brings a lot of questions from both sides, right? First, there's the question of the validity of the no-knock warrant. In Minneapolis, It is where there is an imminent threat. And even with that, it has to be approved by the chief. We know with Breonna Taylor, this was already in heavy criticism. And here we are 2 years later, boom, at it again.
It's just hard to like digest this like repeatedly, whether it be Minneapolis, New York, wherever it may happen. But a no-knock warrant, like them having the key, it just felt like there was just so much going on that just shouldn't have been happening at that exact moment. Because granted, he had a license to carry that firearm. He was in his home with said firearm. It wasn't like he was at Target waving it in the parking lot. You know what I mean? But in the event he slept with his gun or kept his gun close by his side every night, it was another night for him. For them to come in on a no-knock warrant, and if I'm not mistaken, have the wrong individual at the end of the day, this could have been approached in so many other safer ways and routes. Like you have tactical units with tactical equipment, with protective gear. You should really approach situations in that same light. Like if you are protected for this item, granted, you may feel your life is in danger approaching a home due to a circumstance that you're just reading a paper prior to arriving at the space. You didn't do much research on whatever the case is. Just, hey, you're SWAT, you got to call, we got to go somewhere, let's go. But there has to be another level of, hold on, let's rethink this one more time before we do what we do due to what happened in the past. Like, if what actions take place in the past we don't learn from them and revamp them for future situations, then Breonna was for no reason now.
Absolutely.
And that's what hurts even more. Like, not even, and it was in the same area. It was the same town, so to speak. So if the local township or the authorities in said township are not adjusting to the people of said township that they're supposed to serve and protect, then what are you doing? Just stay where you are, and we'll call you if there's a real emergency.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because you showing up on your own, it brings nothing but death. It seems.
Yeah.
If we don't call you, don't come.
Yep.
And honestly, like,
like
that's how if someone broke into my home, I would call the cops. Like, come here. Like, not to make fun of the Dave Chappelle skit, but it's like, it's a nice house. He must have broken and hung pictures of himself. You know what I'm saying? It's not to make fun of that, but if I call, come and do the protect and serve thing. But anytime I'm approached by a cop that I didn't summon, it's usually a negative situation.
Yeah.
Whether it be a pullover when there was no illegal turn, or both of my taillights are just fine. You know what I'm saying? Or just any other where you going and you need your ID. No, you don't. No more rights. It has to be a better way. Like, but don't come unless I call you, fam.
Yeah, and then there's the whole question, that I've received where, well, why was he sleeping with his gun? And my thing is, you don't know my life.
Facts.
Right? And then I live in Minneapolis, and I saw what happened to Breonna Taylor. I'm licensed. There's no reason for anybody to be unlawfully entering my home. But just in case they do, I am prepared. So if we're talking about someone who went through the legal steps to obtain a license, to have a weapon, to now have it questioned, then what the hell is the purpose of the process of legalizing it?
It makes no sense.
You know what I mean? And let's be clear. How are the guns getting here? I don't know any black factories that are existing where people are putting guns together and smuggling them in to anywhere and saying this is the way we're arming ourselves so we can go kill each other. So let's not be blind to the fact that there's the immediate problem of gun violence, but then there's a deeper rooted problem of how are the guns getting into their hands. We know at least with this one, it was licensed and purchased. But then, of course, and, just to veer off a little bit now with Brooklyn and drill rap and everybody dying, how are those guns getting into those kids' hands?
Right, and that's the scary part, because them young boys out in Brooklyn, they got FNs with no switches on them, and they are meant to kill. It's not a warning shot. It's like it's a rapid fire. I'm tearing this block up situation every time. As far as soon as that trigger's being pulled,
Yeah,
it's not a single shot revolver. Where you know what I mean, but like Chris Rock said, if you made bullets expensive,
yep,
there'll be a lot less deaths.
yep.
There'll be a lot less deaths, unfortunately. But another thing, just to harping on, like, even if he was a gentleman that slept with his legal firearm every night, if there was granted, it was a no-knock warrant, them having a key and walking into the apartment, though, that's a scary factor if you're just coming out of a cold sleep. Like, to hear a loud, a battering ram hit your door once, that'll wake you up, hit it again, like, oh shit, they mean business. And then the third one, you usually hit police. You got, oh, this is a real situation. You know what I'm saying? You have fake pre-warnings or precursors for what's about to happen in your home. But when they technically are sneaking into your house, it's like what do you do out of a cold sleep?
Yeah.
Someone's technically breaking into your home to arrest you, and you're not even the person that's supposed to be arrested. But I don't know. Condolences to the family of AMIR LOCKE.
Absolutely.
And, you shouldn't have to go through that, but you are. So please, I don't know. Just stay safe, but stay dangerous, man. Get your legal firearms. Keep it with you. And I don't know. It's just another unfortunate situation to a black guy in America.
Absolutely.
We got a couple of random topics here.
Yeah. So this one here, women talking to their sons about girls with a past. This was a random conversation that I was having with a female, and they were talking about, I want to be able to express to my son that women will have a past, but that shouldn't judge how you look at them in the present. And you know what I mean? Like,
that part I do agree with. Like, you shouldn't judge a woman by the past that she had, per se, but it all depends on that level of exposure on said past, in my eyes. Like, if you happen to go through a lot of individuals, that's one thing. If you did this in HD camera and everybody was able to click it and press play and rewind it over and over, that's a little bit more closer to my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that might be a no for me personally, but like you said, all girls do have a past, so to speak. But it's, as a mother talking to her son, and you giving this story, how does the son not now question the mother? Like, oh, were you not a girl once with a past, mom?
I think more so it's, for some reason, we've treated females as if they can't be human. They've been treated as if they're supposed to be this perfect figure, like they can't make a mistake. And
hey, I'm gonna just go on the limb. Hey, women are perfect. Go ahead.
No, listen, because I'm open to comments. What I'm trying to say here is, everybody's gonna have a pass, but it seems like the male pass is more accepted than the female pass.
Correct.
Right? I'm not saying women aren't perfect in the sense that, you know, I'm criticizing their looks or their whatever. I'm very much aware of the disparity in pay and the way women are treated and objectified. Yes. What I'm saying is, in regards to the subject of their past, women have this ideology to men that they're supposed to be perfect. It's just like right now we idolize the girls that get their breasts done and their booty done, but then the woman who's went through life and may have stretch marks or may not look like them doesn't get the same appreciation anymore.
That's fucked up. Tiger stripes it's growth, baby.
Yo, it's just
growth.
It's a roadway to heaven, guys. That's all those tiger, that's all those stretch marks are. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when we look at someone's past, especially women get more criticized for having a bad past than a man does. You know what I mean? Like, a woman will forgive the fact, she'll watch you on tape shoot somebody in the head and be like, that was a past you. You've changed your life. I love the new you. I'm with you. I respect you. But now, I
think it's crazy.
You know what I mean? But dudes will see a girl on tape in some, you know, objective or derogatory way, and she's changed her life, but they can't get over that.
Unfortunately, as weird as it is, men being very masculine and the bigger person usually in the relationship. Little do they know, the man is a lot more sensitive to topics and situations than the woman may be. Women are a lot stronger, a lot tougher than men ever will be. I'm not just talking about childbirth. I'm just talking about a mental capacity that they have within themselves. They are the stronger being as far as.
And why is that?
Why is what?
And why are they?
Oh, I never questioned that.
You know what I mean?
I just knew what it was.
You know what I mean?
You know what
like, I feel like if mothers have those conversations with their sons at a young age, it will make them stronger mentally. Like, I feel like if you make it more transparent to your son that there is no such thing as the perfect female.
Okay.
She's going to have flaws. She's going to have experiences. She's going to have things that you're not going to like. And to your point, the mother, to some extent, right, can't reveal everything, isn't perfect herself. But she works hard and she does what she has to do, and she tries to set the best example for the son to then go find somebody hopefully similar or better. I love the idea of women having that conversation with sons, because somebody trusting needs to be the person
to give that information.
To give, exactly. Very you know true. What I mean? Like, there needs to be that conversation, because I remember growing up, you got to find a girl that is God-fearing. You got to find a girl that don't talk to all the boys, not too fast. You know what I mean? But that fast girl knew a lot growing up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. She knew how to get the best deals. She knew where not to go so you don't get robbed. You know what I mean? Like, that fast girl, she had knowledge. So now that we're in a new generation and we know the game a little better, we need to be able to give that to our kids in a way so they don't got to go learn it from somebody else who's going to manipulate them with that shit.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But, yeah, man, ladies, if you got sons out there and they're young and they're growing up, talk to them. Let them know what's out there before they get out there. And they got to come back to you with bad news.
Yes.
You don't want that news. You don't want to find out you're going to be a grandmother this week.
I was just, you know what
I'm saying? Just,
literally read my mind.
Just let them know. Like, it's not about perfection. You know what I'm saying? It's just more about, one, making sure you're happy.
Yes.
But just knowing it is a 90-10 situation.
Yes.
Everybody be 90% great. There's a 10% that you may have to deal with, but that 10% is worth it in the long run. You know what I mean? So just pick your battles and don't tell them the truth this week.
I love that. I love the analogy because and I gotta credit my senior director for this line. I'll take the 20% that gives me 80% of the value.
I'll take the 20 that gives me the 80. All right, I respect it. I respect it. Feels like my vehicle at the moment, but I respect it. I respect it. I have a question. I got a question for you, though.
What's up?
Do you find yourself judging people that you don't even know them, but you find yourself judging them just off something they're doing, or maybe even something they're wearing, or just an action that they're doing, ever?
It's something I'm working on.
You're working on it? I had to talk to myself the other day because I was at a gas station, had to run inside. But as I'm coming out, I see a gentleman walking out with one of those 12-inch hot dogs that rotate on the gas station thing for X amount of hours. Nobody knows. Just a wiener. Fucking rotating all damn day. It's always there though when you go. Yep. Nobody ever orders the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, who eats gas station food? But he came out with this 12-inch glizzy with ketchup all over it. And as I'm opening the door for him to walk out, he's like biting into it on the exit. And I'm just looking at him and just judging his entire life at this very moment. I'm like, yo, this nigga is eating a fucking 12-inch hot dog in the cold? What kind of man are you, bro? Like, and then as soon as I said that to myself, I'm like, wow, he's probably going to do some real hard times in life. You know what I mean? I just assumed he's just not where he wants to be as a man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I was just going to grab a bottle of water because I was getting gas. But gas station food is a trigger for me for some reason. Like I didn't know it to that very moment, but you shouldn't be eating gas station food.
I hear you, man.
I see it more often than ever since that day. I've seen it more often than not. And now I'm really judging people that go, let me get 3 of them wings, 1 of those pizza slices, and a 12-inch glizzy. Throw some mustard on it. I'm like, fam, this is the gas station, bro. There's a bodega up the block that I got more trust in than this gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. That was just a reflective moment, unfortunately, that I had to go through, and I hope nobody else does. But if you're judging people off the things they do, don't do what I did, man. Be the bigger person. Just go, hey, he's going through some shit. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? But the other side of me says, whatever you do, do not eat gas station food, because that's, nope, nope. Can't do it. I'm sorry. Apologies. I just have to go there. Another random item. The federal government will distribute crack and meth pipes for harm reduction strategy. Thoughts?
Joe strikes again, man. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I'll take the high road. Like, listen, I understand addiction is a real thing. Like, I watch Euphoria. Like, but I get it. If you're addicted to something that you just can't resist, can't contain, can't suppress, okay, we can't change who you are or the makeup of who you are. But hopefully we can avoid you ODing or whatever you're doing. The fact that I'm giving you a clean crack pipe won't stop me from ODing, but I hope mentally it will allow you to go, hey,
bro,
the government gave me a...
Crack and meth is illegal. Like, I
what
really...
you want me to do? Like, giving out clean pipes.
Crack and... Like, unless you're telling me that I could go to Target and buy crack.
Clean crack.
Clean crack. You know what I'm saying? It's illegal. How are you facilitating an illegal situation? We're trying to get guns off the street, but they're like, wait a minute. Yeah. We need to give them pipes though.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We know who's using these pipes.
It's got to be a better method.
Yeah, like let's not be blinded by what this is really doing.
Whatever money they're using to obtain these clean pipes should definitely go into some sort of rehabilitation clinics and other things to help said communities that are more infested with those that would use these drugs and unfortunate inhibitants for a better use. Like, if you want to, we should help those that want to get clean, and those that need to stay in that state, let them stay in that state. You know what I mean? But you can't provide a cleaner version of the state of mind that they're in, because that doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing.
This is nuts. I can't wait to hear more about this from people who are like even more involved in this process, because it's going to be interesting.
I'm waiting for the dudes. Like, granted, they did this for those with addiction to drugs. Right, I'm waiting for the group to stand up and go, hey, Biden, I'm addicted to sex. Help me out, brother. Hey, what's he gonna do? Like, hand out pocket pussies at the store now? Like, you can't do shit like that. Like, you know, say, hey, I know you got a problem. But hey, boom, this one's on us. Any size you want, any color you want, fat fupas, small fupas, whatever you need, we got you. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a line drawn in the sand at some point.
Absolutely.
It is what it is. Another random item, unfortunately, I saw on Twitter the other week. Adidas. Big fan of Adidas. You know what I'm saying? Still second to Nike in the house. But they were advertising their push for new bras for women. They have a lot of unique styles, shapes, colors, variations to fit all different body types, so to speak. But to advertise that, they felt putting up a collage of 20 sets of random titties was going to get the job done. Hey, it brought it to the Free Cage podcast, so it got my attention. But I'm just curious to know, like, is this the future of advertising? Like, is it just more so because it's in your face, or is it just a one-off because it was bras?
I hope it was a one-off, because if we're at the point where advertising genitalia is the go-to, then I'm nervous.
I want to see what Trojan do, because
exactly.
It's gonna be some.
I'm
repercussions.
nervous.
It's gonna be some repercussions. Everybody's gonna take that and build from it, make it bigger.
And remember, people, there's not just heterosexuality out there, so this can get very interesting if we're gonna just start exposing genitalia out there,
it could get spicy.
You know what I mean? Like, we gotta represent inclusiveness.
Another thing I'm more concerned about, they was able to put this out on social media as far as, just an array of titties. Dicks would be censored. No? If God, I'm trying to think of a sporting goods space. If Nike said, "Hey, we're making new cups for football and soccer players to fit all shapes and size penises, no matter what kind of athlete you are," and they put up an array of dicks. Like, is that okay? I don't think so. That's fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got little dicks, big dicks, wide dicks, little thin dicks. Like, you can't. That's not. There has to be more work at the barroom to get another way to get the message across, bro. This can't be it. That's what I'm scared about.
You know what's crazy? I knew you was gonna say it, but then
I actually felt the shit. Yeah, man, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. You can't. It's wild, bro. I just hope this will open the floodgates for other companies to go, "That's permitted? I got an idea. Let's get these jock straps." Nah, bro, it's not that kind of game.
What I really hate about Twitter is, just like any social media feed, it doesn't prepare you for what you're about to see. It just refreshes and then boom, in your face, right? I've been in rooms where I'm looking at my phone and it says, refresh, right? So I hit refresh. My wife walks in the room and it's like, boom, titties. You know what I mean?
Every time.
And she looks at me, oh, so that's what you're doing. And you looking at titties.
You just there with your refresh phone, like, nah. I'm honestly checking the NBA scores, but
I really was.
Refresh was just weird.
Shit nuts, man.
We got a couple of bullet points here for items that we don't really care about, but we felt you had to hear this.
Yes.
A couple of these items we had some side questions on. We kind of want your feedback on, because this first one specifically, like, we're not female, but unfortunately I was curious. But first, congratulations to the Brat and her girlfriend Judy. They are expecting their first child together. Now, if you don't know the Brat, she's a rapper from the late 90s, early 2000s. That video with Tyrese really made me a fan of her. But I was always curious to know, in same-sex female relationships, if there's not one that's more manlier than the other, how are they deciding who's going to carry this baby for us as a couple when we both have the ability to do it? I'm pretty sure the Brat won this one, I believe, because as you know, Judy is the one that's pregnant. But I'm always curious to know, in those same-sex female relationships, if you're both just ultra feminine, but you just happen to gravitate to each other, which is an awesome thing. But you do want to have children and you don't want to adopt, one of you need to carry. How do you decide that? If anyone knows, or if there's like if it's like rock, paper, scissors, or scissors, whatever it may be, let me know. I'm curious to know how it goes. That wasn't a scissor joke, but you can take it as long as you need to. But it's weird. But congrats, man. Congrats nonetheless. Oh, man. Rudy Giuliani. He was on The Masked Singer. Shouldn't have been. He unveiled himself in, I think, the very first episode of the new season, and the judges just walked off. Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong saw it was him, and they immediately got up and walked off the stage in protest. Salute. I'm not sure what Rudy's doing. I don't know how he has time for this. I thought he was like being a lawyer for our next president. But like I said, it's things we don't need to talk about, so I'm not going to talk about it. The next unfortunate item that I might want to dive into is my good guy T.I. Now, he's a rapper out in ATL. Paper Trail was a hell of an album. But he is opening up a new lane by doing stand-up comedy. And I was told he was actually funny. Did you get to see this skit at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Like, T.I. he has a lot of charisma, a lot of, I won't say attitude, but very, he uses big words, but I don't have one right now for him. He's very good at what he does as far as accentuating or expressing who he is in other lights. But him going into a comedy stage kind of atmosphere, it looks weird, but it fits him for some reason. I don't know why. I hope he does well on it, but I hope he doesn't do it for too much longer.
Yeah, if you ever seen Dave Chappelle's Block Party, he talked about that. He said there's always been a deep connection between rappers and comedians. Rappers who are really good at their craft want to be comedians. Comedians who are really good want to be rappers. And Dave Chappelle said he was mediocre at both, but managed to talk himself into $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, sweet. You know, comedians want to be musicians. Like, look at Mos Def. He's a funny dude, great musician. You know what I mean? Jamie Foxx, musician, very funny. You know what I mean? You know, or a comedian, great musician. So there's always been that connection.
Okay, I respect it. What y'all see? Last item here, unfortunately, Kylie and Travis had a kid, born on February 2nd, 2022, and I was truly, truly, truly hoping they capitalized on all the twos and named their son Deuce or Deuces, but they dropped the ball. I think they named him Wolf. So, wow. Just gonna let that go, man. It's rich nigga shit that we'll never understand. I can't get to it. But as far as the business side of things, I'm gonna just start from the bottom, work my way up. I want to give a big shout out and congratulations to Snoop. He recently acquired Death Row Records, the label that launched his career. I know it was some back and forth over the past few years when him trying to acquire it from a second company who were very adamant about selling it to him, but they ran into financial trouble. He sold it to a separate group, and Snoop was able to collab with that group in order to get the deal done. Congrats to Snoop. That's a hell of a full circle run, being part of the primary Death Row members. But having that label under his belt, though, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Definitely.
Shouts to him. Appreciate what you do. A couple other things here under the business tip. A very disgruntled lawyer was convicted a couple Fridays ago for cheating porn actor Stormy Daniels out of almost $300,000 for writing a book, which honestly was just going to throw the old President Trump under the bus, but he stole some money from her. And I think he's going to jail now. You can't be stealing money from strippers, bro. That's fucked up. Like, but hey, who does? I don't do it personally, but and I can't even agree with him. But I guess he felt dirty money's dirty money, so it is what it is. Sad shit. Sad shit. Moderna is working on experimental HIV vaccine. I think it's too little, too late. Magic Johnson would have something to say about that, but that's neither here nor there. After that, how you want to do this? Oh, we have some music, entertainment, celebrity news. We'll start from the bottom again. Quick thing: the Brooklyn Museum happens to be honoring the late Virgil Abloh in a very cool scene at the museum where they kind of just display his old works and things that he's done for the culture prior to his death. But I just thought that was cool for them to bring that up and show some light to him in the local community. Big fan of that. But Michael K, man, what happened over there?
Yeah, man. So it looks like 4 men have been arrested in connection to the overdose death of the late Michael K. Williams. Listen, this fentanyl is no joke. No, it's really no joke. And we've lost a couple of notable people to it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there that we didn't hear about that are probably close to some of y'all. Something needs to happen. I know they are trying to increase the amount of substance abuse centers and resources. There's even an extension of telehealth where, you know, you can have virtual visits with a doctor to talk about, you know, any mental health issues that you're having. But it doesn't help when your man is trying to put free pipes on the street.
Free clean pipes and dirty tainted drugs.
Exactly.
It's never gonna mix. It's never gonna mix.
Yeah.
Another news on a celebrity tip: the family of Drakeo the Ruler has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against. I don't want to say Rock Nation. I don't want to be incorrect, but they are filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the company that held the concert that was in charge of security for $60 million. Because unfortunately, someone wasn't patted down correctly, and he died at the end of that music festival late last year. But hopefully, they get some resolution to that. They come to some sort of agreement. But long story short, if you have security and security doesn't do their job, someone unfortunately has to pay for it if a life is lost.
Absolutely. So it's that part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, when we have our Freedom Cage podcast, Pandelina Spice update, people, and I want to say good news. You know what I mean? It depends on where you're at right now in
definitely better news.
This pandemic, Pandelina, whatever it is right now for you. If you're healthy, great. If you're going through something, we're praying for you. If you suffered any loss, condolences. But COVID cases finally in the New York State area anyway reached below the standard 5%. So with that happening, the mask mandate has been lifted for indoor businesses, but mandates are still in place for state-regulated healthcare settings, correctional facilities, homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, and on public transportation. So for the most part, here's what can happen. You can go into Target and probably not have to wear your mask. But if there is a pharmacy setting, you have to put your mask back on. Yeah. Or if the train is connected to the Target, when you go down the escalator, soon as you hit that part of the escalator, you got to put your mask on. It's confusing as fuck, but that's what's happening in New York State right now.
Listen, I just want to let everybody know out there, listen, they tried this shit like 6 to 8 months ago where the numbers is dropping. They gave everybody carte blanche to make the option on yourselves. Yeah. You can't trust people, man. Keep your mask on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Public places, you outside, keep it on.
So local businesses now, they can still require you to have your mask on. And the schools are going to revisit the policy in early March. But there was protests as soon as last week where most people now in a couple weeks, man, they got to have the booster. Otherwise, they get in the boot from their job. So there was like big protests in New York City about that. They're still protesting heavy about the kids having to wear masks in schools. So we'll see what happens, man. But crossing fingers, man. Hopefully we're getting into the new norm of eventually being able to speak to each other without face coverings.
Now, let's just say the numbers continue to dwindle for another 3 months or so. The lifted mandate remains intact. They might even get a little bit more lax and start to open up other spaces and places. Is there a refund or a backseat on my vaccine shot? How's that go now?
Nah. Damn. That's in you.
That's that. Damn. I was hoping. I was like, I'll take that right out of you. Since we don't need it anymore, you know what I mean? But shit. All right. What's this? We catching on TV these days?
Yeah. So last episode we talked about As We See It on Amazon Prime. If you haven't got, I finally finished it. So it was really good. Like the way it ended, it was really good. And hopefully you guys got a chance to check it out, man. It's about 3 adults, living with autism, going through their experiences and just trying to live a normal life, right? And there's the question of what is normal versus maybe I don't want to be normal. Maybe not being normal is good. And that makes me special and unique. So you get a chance, check it out, man. Really good show.
I will put that on the list amongst many other things that I didn't get to. A couple of new albums happened to drop this past week or two as well. 2 Chainz dropped a new album, and it's funny. I think it's called like Shoebox Money or something like that.
Yeah.
And, we had the show.
Yeah.
We happened to have the title, and then the next day we saw the album after. I was like, did we mention 2 Chainz all goddamn episode?
Dude, even Baller Alert put up what's the most expensive shoe you ever bought.
It's crazy,
yeah.
Man. Freedom Cage podcast.
Somebody's watching.
Ahead of the news before the news is even news. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo Gotti also had a new album, and that one I actually listened to thoroughly. That's a really good fucking album. And it's funny, I don't think I've ever heard a Yo Gotti album in its entirety until this last one. For some reason, I just like, you know what? Let me see. Let's see what's going on. But the beats are good. His lyrics are decent. He's not the lyrical miracle dude, but his beats carried the album, and it was put together well. It was composed really good. I would suggest you go hearing that at least one good time. Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa dropped a quick album called Stoner's Night. I don't really got to give you too much what's going on there, but I didn't get to hear it yet, but I heard it was decent. Go do that. Snoop also dropped a Back on Death Row album in conjunction with his acquirement of the label. Haven't had a chance to hear that, but it's Snoop, so I'm pretty sure it's not bad music. Mary J. Blige, fresh off the Super Bowl performance, dropped Good Morning Gorgeous, and that's Mary J. Blige. I'm a little nervous for this album because I don't think she's in a sad place, but most of her sad place albums are really, really good. But she's in a happy place if she's working with Khaled, and I think she's actually using her production money for once. I think it's going to be a pretty good album.
Yeah.
One more album that I saw that happened to drop was Jasmine Sullivan. She dropped a deluxe version to her Hotels called Hotels with Motels. So if you haven't heard that yet, I haven't heard the deluxe yet. I like the first one, so I'm going to definitely tune in and catch the second or the deluxe version of it. But I love Jasmine Sullivan since the Lion, Tigers, and Bears track way back. But she's still a really good talent. We just hope that she's not being everybody's hoe. So we'll see how that goes. Ugh, good luck with all that. What else you got, my good man?
I think you got something, right? You got some stuff coming up.
What I got? Ooh, tomorrow. Yeah. My baby, my wife, my everything, my life. Happy motherfucking birthday, baby. I love you. I do not have a gift for you, but I'm definitely going to get it before the day's out.
Yeah, definitely,
love
man.
You. Happy birthday. It's a special one as always, but love you, man. We'll see you next episode as always.
Yeah, man. Hope everybody enjoyed their Valentine's Day yesterday, and I hope you enjoyed your makeup Valentine's Day today. With
today's side boot day?
Today's side boot day, man. This is literally the anniversary from last year where we talked about side boot day. Yeah. This is the official day where you hang out with the one you like. Not the one you love, but the one you like.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to Future's new song. He just dropped that a little while ago.
Oh, yeah. Worst day.
Yeah, Future's out there. He's just a rich nigga with good problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
But shouts to Future, man. He always knows the culture.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, but we know All-Star Weekend is coming up this weekend, man. Can't wait to see dunk contest, 3-point contest. I know them boys are going to show out. Can't wait. We'll talk about that when we come back in April.
They still ain't get the bag to LeBron to do it?
I don't even know if he got it now. Them 37-year-old knees ain't doing much.
Damn. Right. I was hoping to get one.
They missed the bag. 10 years ago, they missed that.
Damn.
Yeah.
See how it works out this week.
Yeah, man. But listen, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're enjoying your Black History Month, man. We appreciate you taking some time to check us out today. And yo, listen, it's just the beginning, man. You know, 2022 is moving along. We got a lot of things coming. As you can see, the merch is on.
You gotta plug that. We shop it. FCP.
Yeah, FCP. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, man. If you look in the comments, if you look in the link, you know what I mean? Just click on there. We got everything for you. We got something for the men, something for the women, something for the kids. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the love you show, man. You can reach out to us, connect with us on social media, all that good stuff, man. Really, we're just so thankful that you spent this time with us.
Yeah, man. You could have been doing anything else. We appreciate you, man.
For real, man. And if you purchase anything, just tag us in it or tag Freedom Cage Podcast in it, man. We appreciate it. We want to get it out there. And we're at that point, man. I think we can release them, right? We're going to open the gates. We're going to open the cage.
I'm going to go through the mental Rolodex. I think so, man. I don't got nothing other than see you March 1st, man.
Yeah, all right. Listen, you are now released back into your regularly scheduled programming. Corporate life, parental life, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you do, we salute you. I'm Senor Lee.
I'm King Capneck.
See you back next pay week when we lock back in to a free state of mind.